Hello and welcome back. This is the Siberian here with an epic 2v2 battle replay. This is with the new standalone multiplayer mod based off of Empire 2 called Empire 2 Generals. And this was our first 2v2 battle on the map of Zorndorf. This is me, this France army here, with pretty infantry heavy, with a few light cavalry and just a couple heavier cavs. And then my ally, also France, is Steezyshots, and he took all infantry, a field marshal, and some artillery, some pretty decent artillery. So we were going for an overwhelm via numbers type of engagement. Facing us was the Prussians, commanded by who was this? I don't remember. We'll see it at the end screen. The Prussians, and then Vanitas is the Austrians here. So the Austrians are now moving up, probably down these roads here. The Prussians are occupying this region as well. So this mod is meant to be similar in style to like an NTW3 in that it's multiplayer focused, or really multiplayer only, and it is pretty punishing if you make mistakes. It is very quickly, things can very quickly go wrong. You have to be careful, but then also take risks at times to get things done. So we've been having a lot of fun. In fact, just after this, we managed to get a 3v3 battle going. Unfortunately, it crashed. The host crashed right at the end, so we weren't able to get a replay of it. But it was quite epic indeed, and I did fairly well in that one too. So bummer, but it is what it is. We will be getting more 3v3s going soon, I think, with the latest version. This is version 0.3. It is very easy to install and do this. So if you are interested, please check out the link below and join the Discord. And then in the Discord, there's a beta channel which will give you access to what we're playing with here. Also, look at this epic French army. Will I crash it? Oh yeah. Beautiful. So our strategy, that is Steezy and I, was to occupy this center region together. I was going to set up around this farmhouse. I'm pretty sure it was Steezy. It doesn't show, but we'll see at the end. But we were going to set up around this center farmhouse, and then I was going to push on the flank like this, while he then crushed straight forward with his overwhelming numbers. I have a bit more balance of an army in that I have one light cav there, and then two light cavs here, and then I also have a horse grenadier, which turns out to be a very good unit for me. And I thought I had one more, but maybe that's the only other cav. Then my field marshal. Quite a number of infantry who are taking a very interesting route through the town. Pathfinding is perhaps not the forte of this mod so far. And we also have those 6-pounders that we see there. Those will be a useful addition. We have yet to spot much, although we're spotting a couple of Prussian units now. Some grenadiers with their nice baby blue, sky blue, and some Freikorps Jaeger infantry. Very nice. Briefly saw an Austrian unit there. That led me to believe that they're probably going to come right down this road. Yep. Meanwhile, my Frenchmen here are marching down the road. Looks like they're lining up into the field. Big group hung up in the city. Got some Prussian general there. The Jaegers, the Austrian field marshal. Some more Austrian lines. That's the nice thing about light cav is they're very good at spotting, so just using them to spot what enemy troops I can. That flag is like a weird shape. There we go. Now I saw his hussars and decided I didn't want a confrontation right now, so pulling those back. My voltigeurs. I don't know any French, so that could be terribly wrong. But they are now moving forward. Trying to collect my army from the town. I got a little distracted by all the good stuff in these houses. Revolutionary conscripts moving forward, looking nice, very nice. Meanwhile, our second French army is in a thick column. Oh, what do we got here? A little light cav skirmish. A couple of shots taken there. Plenty of thick Austrian lines being spotted now. The Prussian Jaegers taking pot shots at my men. And artillery fire going this way at my light cavalry over here. I was scouting out the land and decided to withdraw because they were getting hit by a lot of Prussian artillery. We have a 24-pounder howitzer, guard artillery, 24-pounder howitzer, and I'm pretty sure there's at least one more back here. Withdrew that light cav. Still trying to get into position though. finally getting out of the town. And this epic attack column is stationary for now, but not for long. Ooh, and my light cav is taking fire from enemy artillery. And that'll break them, you cowards. Voltigeurs moving into loose formation. We just got a huge mass of soldiers who were left behind. Finally moving forward. My cav is still getting attacked, even though they're hidden. Decided I was gonna go for a long flanking maneuver with them. These guys are hidden, but that still happens. Oh. That's a brutal artillery shot. Unfortunate. Looks like the French on this left flank are now forming up. Got some 18-pounders. Oh, two batteries of 18-pounders. Oh, and here we are. We've spotted the Prussians. So let's see what they got. They got some Jaegers, Fusiliers, elite lifeguard, Grenadier Giants, Fusiliers, Hessian Grenadiers, and Caperns. So they got very expensive infantry, but probably not a ton of it. Grenadiers. All of those units are quite expensive. Which means, with my massive numbers, if I can stretch out the line, I will have the advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and commit these troops to a continued flanking push. Let's see the light infantry battle. Very nice. Continental Marines. Some old Royal Infantry. Not sure why they're with the Republican France, but small minor things. Some Hungarian Hussars scouting. We are moving into the forest by this little farmhouse, which was going to be kind of the hinge point between our two armies originally. That was the idea. Oh. It looks like we missed my light cavalry engagement. They got beaten off by some Prussian hussars pretty handily. which means these 74 have fallen back. It will now just act as a screening unit a little bit. Meanwhile, Prussian artillery continues to hit these lights, but as soon as regular line infantry comes into view, they should, tactically, you want to aim for those, because the dense formation will take a lot more casualties to artillery. Our French 18-pounders are opening fire. Got a couple of kills there. Oh, we got a light cav charge, maybe? Light cav charge into the Grenzers who try to form a square. I try to then run through to the 24-pounders, but that is asking a lot of those light cav. Oh. That might have, yeah, that took out a decent number of his own troops there. Meanwhile, still working to get this flanking position up. Oh, and we're moving even more. One nice thing about this map is that it has limited crossing points, so you can actually occupy the whole length of it with infantry. This left flank is a little bit slow for the French here, so it is this is a dangerous gap, seeing as especially that I only have lights there, and my light cav that was helping support those lights has been driven off. So that is actually a dangerous spot that could be exploited. Ooh, that was some bloody shots of artillery. Got some Austrian hussars going for my vulnerable light infantry. Ooh, and that's going to be a pretty devastating charge. Immediately dropping them by 20, no, almost the whole 75. Very brutal. Meanwhile, still pushing infantry up this right flank. I'm trying to only advance on the right so that the left has time to catch up. Oh, and we got some Austrian infantry here on that the low ground, not getting the high ground. These guys managed to make a square, as do these, but these Voltigeurs are severely reduced in number. Look at all these French infantry. That's just so much. I think he was trying to get to the artillery with the hussars. But, oh, a lot of friendly fire there. But if they can get a shot off. Oh man, look at that friendly fire. Oh. That was pretty brutal. Oh. Oh, and they break before they can commit to it. Meanwhile, back on the front line, we are pushing the right flank still. 3 cav, some heavy cav too. This stuff can decimate my cav forces. Well, that's not the cuirassier. These are life hussars, but They're still quite good, but not as good as I originally thought. He has somewhere a unit of cuirassiers, I believe. Oh, and we got a French charge from the revolutionary conscripts. So these guys aren't very good in combat, but they do have fairly high morale. Because they're joining the revolution. So they can be decent on a charge. Though their stats are not very good. That's some brutal fighting there in the center. Canister shot tearing into these ranks here. Oh, brutal. But continuing to advance. We did see out those light infantry, shatter them. And now we have an Austrian-French engagement on this flank. Oh, my music went away. Let me get that. Alright, we'll get right back into the battle. We just gotta have a little music though, you know? Alright, here we are back in the battle. The Austrians are climbing the hill. Taking some serious losses doing it, but probably dishing out a fair amount to a general advance on the Austrian flank. Man, I was not aware of this at all, but I did sneak in a cav charge trying to snipe these artillery, kind of intercepted by these hussars last minute, but still got a decent chunk of that artillery done, and that lets me advance my troops up the hill. So even though my light cav breaks, we successfully pushed them off this hill. Now we have the high ground here. On this right French flank, and we silenced at least some of those guns. Meanwhile, wow, look at this battle. What an epic line battle. Some Royal Infantry moving in on the Austrian flank. Thick Austrian lines. Very nice. I think I tried to charge these guys again and they withdrew to here and then got shot up, so wasn't really a well played moment, but it made the Jaegers fall back, which was a good thing. They were pretty annoying. On this flank, we're taking this little hamlet. Gonna start firing down. We have excellent cohesion. They have standard and good. Ooh, that looked like a good volley. Got some Prussian hussars now firing into us on this flank as well, but they will lose a shooting engagement. Definitely. Alright, charging some infantry into their Jaegers. They try getting countercharged by these guys. I take out my Voltigeurs. That's unfortunate, but I also took out their Jaegers, so but you can. Alright, the lines have straightened out, hinging kind of on this area again. But I am continuing to push. My goal is to push and overrun as many of these artillery pieces as I can, particularly if I can push this right flank and sneak in this horse grenadier unit, which I think I will start moving up soon. I also kind of forgot about some of those units way back there. Back on the Austrian front, and straight up line battle has emerged. Look at that. That's beautiful. And some hussars did sneak through but broke upon a French square. And now we have some Austrian dragoons taking on my Republican infantry, as my infantry also get hammered by artillery. On this right flank, we saw off those hussars, and we are chewing through these grenadiers, already lower in number than regular infantry. They just got absolutely chewed to bits. And it is important to remember that my ally here took almost all infantry, so he still has 4 reserves right here, 4 reserves right here. That's a lot of remaining infantry that has not even been in contact in battle at all yet. A bit of a couple of dragoons. Oh, making a charge here. Trying to widen that gap between the two armies. And now my infantry continues to advance. Hoping to wear down these guys. Getting hit by some heavy artillery. Definitely losing a lot on this assault up the hill, but we are pushing them back. That's my main goal. Because they have so much artillery, my main goal is just to push them beyond their guns. And really, there's only one, I think just one working cannon here. Alright, so we're starting to push this flank even more. I think I should bring up these horse grenadiers fairly soon. My last Marine Corps reserves are heading up. Trying to support my ally by firing on these guys' flank. What an epic battle, man. Alright, this shouldn't crash anything. Yes, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, that's enough lag though. Still trying to apply as much pressure on this flank as possible. Not ready to charge though, because these guys are both grenadiers, so don't know if I could handle that. But definitely want to push that flank some more. Meanwhile, my ally is moving up towards the center, fill in this gap the last little bit. Oh, the dragoons charge into my Voltigeurs and probably break them for the last time. but get shot down by my reserves. That's very good. Dragoons don't quite go down as quickly as I had hoped, and I have to form another square there. That's fine by me. This is the flank I am focusing on, hoping to get some... Uh-oh. The weird shifting unit bug happens. Moving up some more reserves. Still haven't moved my horse grenadiers. I probably could have done that sooner, but... Look at all that smoke. The Austrian-French line battle seems pretty straightforward. A bloody shootout. A mixture of no clear winner so far on this. Ooh, some sharpshooter cav on the flank. That's clever. More French reserves here in the back with the field marshal and the artillery. We did break that artillery of the enemies. We're continuing to push forward. So far, a very static line battle for now, with slight movement on this flank, but nothing too crazy. And a very thick... I think the Austrian army must have also brought a lot of infantry, because look at that. Now, this mod does support 29 units per army. So... You do... Oh, and we have a cav engagement on this flank. The life hussars charging in, really decimating one infantry corps. But now I catch it, and I'm forming squares. Hopefully that'll be enough to see them off. The horse grenadiers are moving forward now, along with my 6-pound horse artillery. Well... They're ready to move forward. Ooh. Ouch. Some chemical warfare being very effective there as I shift my units. Alright, we saw off that Grenadier unit and the other Grenadier unit. So we are trying to continue to bend this flank back. As you can see, I'm just going for as much penetration behind enemy lines as I can. These hussars did reform and are charging in once again. And my troops were not prepared. As microing elsewhere. Not paying attention. Now they form square. Ooh, we got another cav charge coming in. Forming a square a little bit late. Taking a pretty decent charge there. Meanwhile, along this flank, looks like there's been a little shifting back, but nothing too crazy. Most of the action happening here as these squares do see off those cavalry units. Oh. And just getting hammered with artillery. Luckily, just as these units break, I am able to bring forward those reserves. And I think these units might have run out of ammo, and so they are being charged towards the Prussian Jaegers. A very bloody battle here for us Frenchmen in the center. But we are now able to close the range. They have bad, standard cohesion. We have excellent, good, terrible, chaos, terrible. So, the guys we have closest are in much better cohesion than the enemy. Meaning those volleys should take out quite a number. Prussian grenadiers do go charging in, but they took a few point-blank volleys. Did break a couple, though. Oh. It's a pretty fresh unit as far as numbers. Oh, and that took out almost a full 50. That one volley. We are now countercharging in this center area. I think these guys might have been out of troops, or out of shots. Oof. This is getting a pretty desperate fight on this right flank. A close run thing. Although my horse grenadiers have now arrived to their intended locations. And my marines are moving up. Still good cohesion. Will they get a volley off? No. They will receive the enemy charge. This flank, we still have quite a large line battle. Probably running low on ammunition. I do pull back in the center as I concentrate on this right wing. And the horse grenadiers are in. These are some epic heavy cavalry overrunning the Prussian positions and immediately going for some Prussian artillery. We'll follow the cavalry charge, still at full strength. Well, we're lagging a bit doing that. We'll just follow it this way. Going in to take out these howitzers. That does draw the Prussians into square. These grenadiers are holding up 3 French units, which could otherwise be pushing in this flank. That's unfortunate, but what can you do? Alright, horse grenadiers having lost just 3. Moving on to the next artillery piece. These guys must have been turned off the fire at will, unfortunately. Another Prussian battery taken out. Although this one reformed. I don't think I realized that. This deadly melee still going on. These grenadiers are no joke, but they are not quite enough to hold off. The Austrians, now seeing the crumbling Prussian army on their flank, are beginning to withdraw, at least to shore up their own lines. And this has been a pretty bloody battle. Yeah. You have multiple Prussian squares. This is a close run thing. These are the Prussian giant grenadiers. These guys are another very scary unit. Finally break those grenadiers. My horse grenadiers are harassing these squares, keep them in squares as much as possible, that my infantry can advance. Ooh, that was a good volley. We finally broke that unit. We broke the Prussian giants. That's a good thing. I think it was the double-teamed charge that did that. I should still have... Oh yeah, there they are. These guys, still with 87 of their cavalry. What mad lads. Breaking those Prussian Fusiliers. And so we are focusing on crumbling this Prussian flank. They do have some elite troops over here. But this is forcing Austria into a withdrawal so that they are not fully encircled. We see we still have a series of squares protecting the artillery. Those are some good infantry in reserve. Ooh. Elite Lifeguard breaking my conscripts makes sense, but they in turn break. And to be fair, they've fought for a long time here. I was going to move over, reconnect, so we could do move as one large French force, but these Prussian squares and infantry were just having trouble raking. They didn't want to go down. So, yeah, end up reforming to take them out. But Prussia at this point is pretty much done. And Austria is on the retreat. Getting hit by some artillery still, it sounds like. But on my right flank, the French have won the day. Well, except for this guy. He's still actually doing a decent amount of damage and breaking a unit here. These guys are charging nowhere. Oh, and they finally break. Which means I am in the process of reforming, and we're figuring out how we're going to go about this final battle. I'm going to go ahead and pop it into fast forward as we just do some maneuvering. I have to reorganize as many troops as I can. See who have ammo left, who is really depleted, and who's not. I moved my artillery back up, but this is probably a smart move by the Austrians, withdrawing, knowing that I have the flank, which is a pretty solid hill position here. But my troops just need a chance to catch their breath. I mean, just look at the slaughter and carnage that they've caused and endured. Yeah, brutal. All right. These Frenchmen are reforming. Ooh, some good canister on these militia. And they break. Very nice. So if we look at this map a little bit in the top right, see the French lines here, Austrian lines now forming a L shape to hold off two fronts. But with two players, we definitely have a micro advantage. Meaning we can find the optimal positioning for our units on this flank. I can do that while my ally does it on this flank, while the Austrian player has to try and do it on both at the same time. You're gonna try and shoot those cav. Dropped a couple there, not bad. The Austrians continue to withdraw towards the fortified town here. Well, kind of fortified. It's got a big town center thing that you can occupy. Oh, this is a very epic cavalry charge. Oh, I guess we missed part of it. They got canister shot right here on this part of the hill, and then I held fire and volleyed into him. It was a good try, because he didn't know these were there, and I might have left that artillery vulnerable, but not this time. What is going on here? Well, my ally is shuffling, moving some more to my flank, which is appreciated. I'm letting these guys recover. Some are quicker than others, but I'm gonna kick it into fast forward. Started pushing forward, and then I realized, wait, these troops are walking backwards away from the front. And I did not want to attack with 4 heavily depleted units all by myself, so that didn't end up going through. But the Austrians do start withdrawing once more, so I try and keep parallel with them, hoping to prevent any uncontested occupation of this building here. And I think my ally was sorting through what infantry had bullets left and what didn't. I was just trying to harass the Austrians as they retreated with my artillery. Faked a charge. Didn't really fall for it, but hope was that if I faked a charge, he would form square and that would slow him down, but I couldn't afford to lose my last cav unit. Actually, we'll keep it in fast forward for this last little bit as we observe the bloody Zorndorf field. This map can go up to a 3v3, which would be very full. It would be very crowded and intense. As the actual Battle of Zorndorf was Prussia versus Russia, I believe. And because of all these natural barriers with the rivers, it was such a narrow battlefield that it just resulted in this mass bayonet charge, very bloody conflict. Now these 3 infantry units are out of bullets, so they're gonna try and just march up this gully and get a charge, but I don't think it works out. We'll let this hit play as we're entering the interesting time. Got a full-on French advance. Some French Vanitas to go on the flank there. My troops are keeping them engaged on the right. I saw him trying to send troops into the building and charged my horse grenadiers into him. And yeah, that's a good unit. Heavy cav, man. It is expensive but effective. I then pull it out because there's a lot of infantry coming. Continue to try and just press the attack home as much as possible, rushing my artillery forward. As the rest of the French armies converge. Got it up to good, excellent, and standard, so not bad. These guys are both excellent and they're fairly strengthened. So they're a good reserve unit. These guys, I realized, were gonna shoot at my cav. So I start pulling them out. I think I do lose a couple, but can't win them all. If you're an Austrian at this point, you gotta be thinking, oh no, this is our last stand. Leaving a gap for my horse artillery, as that canister will be very deadly in this kind of an engagement. Ooh, that was quite a loud volley. This will be a deadly... Oh, maybe not. They might have fired at those guys. See if these guys can get into position. Now they're shooting them. 116. Let's see what a volley does. Yep. Oof. Man. Just trying to find some passable terrain. This little stream is a little difficult to navigate. Actually, there isn't even water there. That's funny. I didn't notice that when I was making this map. Oh, so my infantry that's out of bullets charges and breaks. It's quite a dense group. Let's see. Line, field marshal, bodyguard, a couple more lines. It's a pretty hefty group on this flank. I am moving my horse grenadiers and realizing I was outnumbered, I have to pull back. I can't threaten the house any longer, which it looks like was occupied. I saw some shots go out from it. But the French attack now is in full swing. Got some flanking units. Got a lot of support units coming to my side. And they are grenadiers who have not been in battle yet. Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of leftover infantry. A vicious little last bit of fight. Looks like they might even be going for a charge. Nope. This could be a deadly return volley, though. Oh, not too bad. Some thick lines for my canister shot, and now we are charging. A quick trick if you want to charge cav through a line of infantry, of friendly infantry, run them through your infantry, and once they're through, then double click on the enemy infantry, because once they start charging, they can do friendly fire on their run, and that's will decimate your own troops by trampling them. So we did manage to break that flank, and the horse grenadiers are now going in for full disruption mode. Going for the field marshal, who breaks. They are down to 50. Austrian line getting ready to fire on them, so I moved them towards this line, let those flanking troops come in, kept pushing with my infantry. And even with a square, we do still do quite a bit of damage. Not as much as we might have, definitely, but charging in the infantry. Withdraw from that square to try and charge up this hill. Oh, take a pretty brutal volley there as they sluggishly climb the hill. They got chewed up, man. But it was enough to give us the chance to push through. My little last remaining core of troops charging in. And the last bayonet charge of the battle commences. And there we go. There we have it. That would be our battle for this time. This is once again, a really fun 2v2. Unfortunately, we had an epic 3v3 that couldn't be saved, but we will be getting more and more bigger battles like 3v3s and maybe even a 4v4 in the future. Let's stick around to see those final stats. Yeah, so we were against Vanitas and RPG the Great. I think I was with Steezy then. As you can see, this is my army. This is Steezy. I deployed 4,700, pretty decent, average sized army. Lost 3,500, so I lost quite a bit, but I killed 31. So I actually lost more than I killed. But RPG, who I was fighting mostly, had a lot of very expensive units. So that's where I had to lose some in order to win against him. Let's see who had some regular infantry just leading the way for the most kills, but these horse grenadiers really were the MVPs. Anyways, this is our Empire 2 Generals. It's a new mod, standalone, but tied to Empire 2 Total War mod. I'm a developer on both, so cool stuff. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you'd like to, check out the mod down below in the description. And until next time, have a good one. Bye.